everyone. You may have noticed some very abrupt cutting there because I'm having to do everything manually because everything's broken. Yay! Hello and welcome to Wacky Wednesday, where it wouldn't be a show if something didn't go wrong. And the thing that went wrong today was my computer failed and I wasn't sure of all the things that I had to install back. So here we are live. I am your DM today, DM Glass and Gadgets, also known as Leonie, and here are my wacky, very messy players, ready to do episode 11, A Date with Death. We did try and do this game, was it like a month ago? During the massive heatwave of England, and we didn't stream. We were going to record and upload it straight to YouTube, and then right in the middle of that, I had a power cut, and so we lost the entire recording. And I had to sit by my open door and wait for the power cut to be over because there was no fans and it was very hot and it was a time. And then I went on holiday and I'm feeling very refreshed. So before we begin, some little things to let you know. We have a sponsor. Our sponsor is VZ3D Works. Down below in the info section you can find a little link that will take them to your shop. They do wonderful 3D printed, not that's mine, but these two right here, these are wonderful 3D printed mugs made by them, which are literally just ready to paint. You prime them, because I like to prime things before I paint them because it helps the paint stick to the plastic, but you just give them a light coat of primer and then you can just paint them instead of having to like prime them and fill them and sand them and then sand them some more and then sand them some more until they're all smooth, and then you prime them and then you paint them. So these prints come out super smooth. Just prime them, paint them, go. VZ3D, our wonderful sponsor. Clicking our link will give you 12% off their shop, and I want everything. I have 3 of the things. I have recently been outbought by our resident Velvet, who has 5 now, so I have some catching up to do, but that's fine because there's lots of things in that shop that I want. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Probably not. So, recap. We finally finished The Ghost of Van der Sand. I think it took 5 or 6 episodes. I don't know. Go on YouTube. We have a YouTube. Catch up on all our old shows. I don't remember. It was a month and a half ago, buns. But we finally completed the Ghost of Van der Sand quest. The party were quickly and swiftly paid. They were underpaid, but the daughter gave you a little treasure box and jewels to make up for it because she was very grateful to being saved. And you were quickly shifted out into the streets of Waterdeep because you have brought a lot of trouble to this house with your burning down the prison and saying that impersonating nobility, which we all know is against the code.
It wouldn't have been a fire if they had just let me keep the painting. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
And also, kobold royalty counts as royalty. They just haven't recognized it in Waterdeep yet. You know what I'm saying? Racism, people. Racism. All right?
But yeah, you've been absolutely turfed out onto the streets. And it's been a long day. You haven't had a long rest for something like 18 hours. I know some of you are very low on spell slots. What would you like to do, turfed out onto the street?
Now,
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel refreshed and ready to go.
I don't know about that, but where's that little dog of yours?
Chey, I don't, I'm not their keeper, okay? We're friends, right? Like, they do their thing, I do my thing. Sometimes we intersect. So, like, yeah, they live with me most of the time, but I don't know.
Jay is their own entity. And
Yes,
also-
thank you.
And also, Bart doesn't know.
Well, I mean, I thought that was clear by how I was saying it. Yes, I don't know. Somewhere
Thank you.
around.
I'm gonna. Can I feel like it's weird for me to say sense death. Can my sense death? Where's the biggest death? My biggest sleepy. I'm looking for the big nap.
It's up like a big
Wow. Oh, it's all of a sudden turned noir. Hold on, let me get my fedora. It was a dark and stormy night with lots and lots of cigarettes and ladies with gams. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Oh, I'm okay with the gams.
Who isn't? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm sorry, as an uneducated Brit, I need to know what a gam is.
It's a leg. Like, it's got great gams.
Oh.
It's got good legs.
Like legs, a gam.
I think it's from Gammon.
For some reason, that was slang for legs in the 20s.
Well, I think John just tried to drop some knowledge on us about what it actually means.
Who do it?
Is it like gammon? Is it like ham? Like the curve
Yes.
of a nice ham.
Maybe.
Because I think
because everybody say you look like you got a ham in that dress, so then it would be.
Well, that's I mean,
with that ham.
okay, that's a different thing. Okay. Anyway, sensing death. Yeah.
Thank you. I
Okay.
can do that naturally. Yes.
Yes, you can. What spell did I give you to do that though? Because
I
there
think
is.
it's just sense undead, and then I flavored it as they get sleepy because it's cold. And they
Okay, so sense undeath. What range is that?
Ooh, no, that I do.
It's
have.
only like 100 feet, I think.
Yeah.
Is he standing right behind us?
Yes, exactly.
No, there is no sleepy right behind you.
Where's the pantomime audience where we need one?
Yeah.
It's behind you. Oh no, he isn't.
No.
Oh no, come on, John. I was relying on you to do it.
Yes, he is.
They don't know. They don't know the art and perfection that is
True.
Christmas pantomime.
I'm sorry. We're American.
Right. You look confused, Lynobi.
I think it is. I think it's only 60 feet.
What are you looking for? Your tongue is
I
doing
would-
that. I'm looking for something. Flick.
Last time I saw Chey, they were with Demorticia.
Who? Oh, right, the gnome. Yeah. I know that person.
I mean,
They've been-
I can send a message.
Ooh, yeah. Ask him about my shoes.
Don't act. No. Remember, now we've had this discussion many times before
About your shoes?
about messages only having a very limited number of words, and you don't want to confuse Dorothea by asking her to send more than one message or one idea in a message. Okay, your shoes can be another message later. Okay,
You
But
could
right
ask
now,
how long he's going to be a gnome.
no, see, stop giving her more things to ask, less things, one thing. Where you ? Okay, that's all we need.
I just want
Where's
to say that
Chey?
Dorothea is not listening to anything that's going on right now. Because it's got material components, so she's busy digging through her big, embroidered bag. It's got like cats on it and roses or something. You know, those really old
There you go.
ones.
See.
And just kind of rummaging
And to
through
be
it.
clear, Bart is not talking to Dorothea about this. He's
Oh, I know.
completely ignoring you and talking to the other three about.
She's just ignoring you
Don't-
all. She's very
Okay.
used to ignoring
Running
her children.
interception.
Yeah.
And I'll pull up my little wire and stick it behind one ear. I don't even really have ears. I've got like nodules. That's it. Mr. Death, how are you today? We finished our mission. Was wondering if you'd like to come for lunch. I found a place that makes good gravy. Thought you might like that.
Yeah, that makes.
She continues talking though. She still continues talking well after the 25 words are finished. Just kind of rambling on. Tells a story about her sister that, once went to Waterdeep.
It's so rude how they always interrupt you with the reply.
okay, so as you were like doing the message talking, as I feel like in character as a unit, all of us just went.
Damn it!
Makes, and they were like.
The llama definitely like produces
How does
a
the llama count?
large,
Do
a
more
large.
legs come out? As
Yep.
does he suddenly have hands like that scene from Adventure Time?
No. I mean, Bart's counting, but then the llama produces from its arm a large stick with a hand attached to it, and it smacks Bart in the face like this. And Bart's just like,
Right.
"Ugh." Okay.
Face palm, Bart, face palm. Okay.
Well, hopefully they
Well, when
understand.
they respond. I think we still arguing about what to
Yeah.
send.
You just can't look. Dorothea has their
It's
own.
not that hard. Give shoe left. It's 3 words. 3 words.
But I am saying that translated into Dorothea, that's at least 32 words. Okay.
No. If you were going to do Dorothea, it would have to go. Where's left shoes would then become, if you don't mind, could you tell me where the left shoe went? Also, we finished our mission. I still got words left.
Is it enough for where you at? Hit
That was
me up.
in there. Where's
Okay,
my shoe left? Dang it. No, I added words.
Yeah, see, it's hard, but we need to make sure that Dorothea, and Bart like turns towards Dorothea at this point, is focused on the message we need to send.
And they're talking about
I
their
think-
sister
I
and the
think-
time they went to Waterdeep.
I think the spell hung up on me.
Oh.
I told you got to get the plan.
I
that has
got the
more-
gist out of
more-
it. Don't sass me now. Don't.
I'm
sass
just
me.
saying the message plan that gives you more words per cast. It's worth it, okay?
How many adjectives
Everyone-
did you use? That's how
So
many.
everyone. I'm not sure if we're the best people to be talking about staying on message and being succinct.
What do you mean?
I don't understand why you'd say that.
Explain yourself to me, small
Have you-
kobold.
Have you never watched a single VOD?
What does that stand for? Okay, hold on.
Very,
I know, me too. I went very
very
ornate.
And as Bart, Bart asks, "What is
discussions.
that?" Fourth
Yeah,
wall
very ornate
breaks.
decisions.
Very ornate
Nice,
decisions.
very ornate decisions. Good. And
This is-
as you say that, Bart fourth wall breaks and looks directly at the camera. Boom.
Don't do
Okay.
it.
Okay, so as you know, as you're doing that, and I had time to open packages because I was just going to let you ramble.
Wacky Wednesday.
As you know, you can get a reply from the sending spell. And even though it cut off at makes, and Death doesn't really know what this amazing place makes, but that's what it is. Death
Cliffhanger
did get
indeed.
a nice invite to brunch. And you receive a message back, Dorothea, in Death's voice, which I can no longer replicate because everything's uninstalled.
Oh.
But it's something along the lines of this. I'm currently in the city of the dead. There's something unusual here.
Well, pack up. Let's go.
Where are we going?
And I start strolling.
I want to point out that
Walking and still arguing, but
if the
I am
crew-
following nonetheless.
if the crew could hear that, all of them would still be leaned over waiting for him to keep talking because they're so used to Dorothea's messages that they're like, that was only like 6. Holy shit. Wait, where's the half-told story about
Where's the word?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so right. Message sent and received, I suppose. Let's head off. Now, I don't know. I've never been in a city.
It's okay. Remember, I have a map.
I was about to say, don't we have a map? Pull up.
So over on the east, over there.
And I know I've been to Waterdeep before, but it's been a very long time. Do I remember where is like the City of the Dead known to what, like the location of it?
So the City of the Dead is very, very famous for Waterdeep because very long time ago, it was just the city graveyard. There was wars. It was known as outside the walls. Obviously, as the city expanded, it grew. And while it's quite overbuilt, it's possibly the only green or the only area where you can find lots of greenery in Waterdeep. So I would say even if you... No, because it's like trying to find Nelson's Column in London. You just know where it is. And if don't, you just kind of know it's in like this direction and you just wander into it and then you find it because it's so huge.
Also,
and there's tourists like
Right.
oh yeah, let's just follow these. So yeah, I would say that you would definitely remember that. And
also
even if you
Fox
don't,
is a mess.
you can't get lost.
I mean, that's true. I technically can't get lost because I'm a wanderer, so I actually know everything in this town. But Fox, talking about, has been here before, and he's the tour guide. So Bart like turns to Fox and is like, "So what's a city walk? You know what I mean? Like I'm from the country, the woods, and I kind of sort of lope.
You
And I'm
are
just
the
trying
country in the woods.
Touche, my
I think,
snaky friend."
People often get teased for looking up at the buildings and like wondering at the architecture around them and stuff like that. So just, eyes straight ahead.
Okay, steely and
Ooh.
unmoving.
City rules.
well-
I got you. Walk like you know where you're going and do
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
I got
Look,
you.
this is
Good.
That's
this
right.
this may have been what I was looking for. Yes, the city walking rule.
And Bartholomew, if I could maybe walk under your canopy somewhat, I'm worried about more of those griffins.
I mean, sure. Don't worry about it. If a griffin comes for you, they'll have to come through my branches first, my friend. And like a creaky wood
Much
hand
obliged.
touches you on the
I
shoulder.
got an umbrella.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. You could hold an umbrella.
The sunlight is quite glaring.
Yes, it's true.
I like to think that Dorothea kind of has their hand on the back of Lynobi's like jumper because they are definitely like the type of kid you'd have on a leash because they
Like,
want
yeah.
to look at everything all the time. You guys are walking, following, and they just kind of keep wandering off and going, "Ooh,
You got one of those little
that's
ladybug,
really nice." And
those little
Dorothea just,
ladybug
like, has
backpacks with a leash on it.
them like
I've
on
just
the
got a
mage
fifth
hand. They just have
sense
a
about
mage
these
hand on
sorts
the
of
back of their
things.
jumper, just kind of keep them in. But they're like, "Ooh, could I have money?"
No, I already gave you a lot of money and you spent it all at the first shop.
I didn't
and
spend it all. I spent most of it, and I would just like more to replenish it so I could spend that much again.
You know, back in my day when we didn't need money, we just stole things from people and killed them. So I
Well,
feel
back
like
in your
maybe
day,
that.
you were also in the ground and couldn't do much but fantasize about murdering people so you could take their things. So
Look, I'm not a golem that's been locked, frozen in some town for years, wishing the pigeons would stop crapping on them. I'm a bush person who hangs out in the woods and like maybe fantasizes about killing people who had axes for a while. And then was
that makes
infected
sense.
with the blood of a demon tree and then went on a murdering
Self-defense.
spree for everybody. So, I mean, look, it's just, there's lots of things going on up here, okay? And the llama shakes its head like this.
I like how this llama's becoming a sentient. It was a part of you, and slowly it's becoming this sentient extra bit. It's like your magic is rubbing off on it.
Yep. Not only that, but it's sort of like different parts of Bart's personality. The ones that lie, and the llama is incapable of understanding the nuance of why he would be telling lies. So they're like, no, that's not true. Actually, it's the id and the ego all combined together into multiple characters split up. Anyway.
I love it. It's very creative. So
The-
you
the
wander
the law
through.
enforcement. Yeah, the law enforcement is very, very grumpy. I wouldn't.
So you wander through Waterdeep,
Just
taking
murder 'em.
in those wonderful statues, giant statues that are in random places. One's half in the ground, another one looks like it's catching something, another one looks like it's playing volleyball, and people have built their houses on it. As you're wandering through, and eventually you do come to this very, very high wall, higher than the outer walls that you've seen, and it's got this tall, near impossible high gate. And the gates are open because the City of the Dead is a public graveyard. And you enter. And this place is beautiful and eerie. Even though it's late, there's that strange mist on the floor. The bit that you enter, you know, the gravestones start off quite small. Sometimes they're just placards in the ground. Sometimes, you know, you can see that new ones and old ones have been placed on top, next to, around. And then as you start to wander through, Lynobi, you in particular, you get that sleepiness now and then. And it disappears. Sometimes you think you see a little blue light in the corner of your eye. You look, there's nothing there. And as you travel in, you go from simple gravestones to statues of varying shapes showing celestial beings in various poses and in marble and bronze, and all sorts of real love has been put here to where people have laid their loved ones. And as you travel on a bit more, you start to see family tombs where they're, you know, small little classically shaped mini buildings almost with names in. Some names have been worn away. Pardon?
Mausoleums?
Yes, like mausoleums. Someone has followed, but I can't see that. Thank you very much for that person.
So
It's broken.
look at this place. It looks pretty nice. You guys want to take a nap here? I feel like this is probably perfect nap material.
This is place though. Mr. Dash
Nap?
told me they found something interesting.
Right, but I'm just saying at least 3 of you, which is all the other ones of you, seem like tired now that
I'm sleeping on the back of Dorothea's shell. Like I'm up there, like
after we have lunch.
I'm sweating.
Well, do you guys want to have lunch now? Look, there's greenery around here. We can finally pretend like we're back at the cabin and sit on some fucking grass instead of stones and wood that's carved and lacquered.
Well, no, we're missing some folks, and we're gonna have lunch as a family. Now, if you're hungry, I've got some snacks.
I just want to make it clear that death is not part of my family.
Well, suit
Isn't
yourself.
it though?
I mean, death is an always permanent resident of the world who hangs out and kills things, but not my family.
Yeah. Death doesn't kill things.
Right. Well, you know, they serve a function. It's not the death that kills you. It's what, you know, the pneumonia. So, like, let's move on from that.
Death is still company right now, and we treat company like family.
Yeah. Just wanders off with my dog, thinks it can just do whatever it wants. Sure, no problem.
I thought Chey was its own person. The Dorothy's like following you.
I think some of these little houses have steps going underground. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, let's find Chey and the other one that's with them, and hopefully, so that Fox isn't freak, they've changed into something that doesn't look like an oppressor of an entire group of people. Am I right? High five.
You're the one that keeps making the gnome thing weird. Just go.
I don't make it weird. Have you heard Fox talking about it?
No, because he mumbles under his breath like a respectable person. Now that's.
I'm just saying, if you want to mutter under your breath like that, very fine example. Just say it out loud so people know where you at. You know what I mean? No? Okay, let's go.
What do we find in the mausoleum?
We're not going into the mausoleum. We're going towards...
Nobody walks out of the mausoleum.
No. Give me that ladybug backpack. You're not going in there. That's not where they are.
Fine.
So how do you want to find Chey and Death?
Yes, I'm gonna roll survival to look for Chey tracks, which I am proficient in finding. If that is okay with you,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
GM, is that an acceptable move? Okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, okay. 23.
Very nice. Sorry, I thought I was muted, and I was just like nodding because you could see that and because you couldn't hear me. But yes, no, 23. Very nice. So you look, and there's pathways in between all these. You know, some there are like burial mounds, and there are towers, and there seems to be a whole mixture of cultures here, and how they seem to deal with their dead. Because not everyone is buried. Like, there are hints of pyres. There seems to be a whole dedicated place just to dragon worshippers. Maybe you assume they're dragonborn.
Are there any like above? So like a tradition in some cultures is to leave the bodies up on like a thing and allow predators to sort of eat them, and that's like
That's what you see from one of the towers that you pass, because you see scavengers circling up a bed. Sometimes you see them land, and then you see them fly away with a bit of something. Not too sure what the bit of something is, but they fly away with it, and so you can assume there's a whole mixture. Sometimes they're just memorials, and you look around, and there's this pathway, and you follow the pathway. You don't see any inevitable tracks, and as you approach this one tower, you do see dog tracks. And given that Chey and your very high roll, and Chey is obviously your partner in crime, you definitely know these tracks are Chey's, and so you follow them.
and there's a perceptible increase in walking speed. From Bart's like tracking and then notices the tracks, and then without saying anything, it's like the fast walk when you're trying to get somewhere, but you don't want people to know that you're actually excited about going somewhere fast, and so you're rolling your hips, speed walking, and you're like, it's fine, it's normal, this is how I normally
Like the
walk.
old ladies at the mall.
Yep, exactly. That's he starts doing this, he's like, so yeah, that's the sound he makes too. Just to be clear, how he makes it, who knows? But he's a tree person.
Magic.
Yep, exactly. Magic.
So you follow these tracks, and you probably follow them for about 10 minutes. And it's not long before these small mausoleums and very nice, statues that are very artistic are replaced by grandiose buildings and absolutely ostentatious statues. And, you even see one, and it's a big gold dragon, and it's breathing fire. And you're just like, wow, how does that work?
Fox gets distracted until he gets pulled away.
Come here. No, look, later, okay?
We'll come back.
And you see on all these buildings names, very famous, very, especially for those of you familiar with Waterdeep, you see the legacy names of the noble families and houses that have been before, and some do still exist, that exist here, and these are big eyesores. Each one looks like it's competing with its neighbour to outdo the others, to flaunt off wealth. There's even one that it's kind of like in two parts. So the outside has all these strange curves in it, like it used to have something embedded, and as you pass it and you look in and you can see inside the mausoleum, which is all gated and keyed up, you see gemstones embedded on the wall, and you could be like, on the outside there were gemstones here, but someone's lifted it, because who wouldn't? If you're a bit poor, just pop down, depending on your moral compass. Clearly someone with that kind of moral compass is there. And after about 10-15 minutes, you hear barking, very familiar barking, very happy, jovial, barking. I'm assuming, Bart, that you're going to rush on ahead to catch up to that. And you come to this, I'm going to call it a cul-de-sac, if you know what that is. It's just kind of like a little area, and there are 3 big mausoleums, each one different in design. The names that were on them seem weathered away, perhaps. There's a big tree. It's very old, warty, bulbous, misshapen, with an iron gated surround and a little sitting area with fence. And what you witness as you come round the path and into this cul-de-sac area is you see Death, in Death's true form, the shadowy slip of a humanoid creature, facing these 3 mausoleums. And Chey's running up to them with a bone in their mouth. Death takes the bone from them, chucks it. Chey runs after it, and Death resumes their meditation of staring at these 3 mausoleums.
Bart ignores Death completely, drops down onto all 4s, and starts running at Chey, and then makes like a whistling sound, and is gonna like tackle Chey in a very playful sort of like rolling on the ground, sort of like wrestle with the bone kind of a move.
Yeah, and it's become a whole game of now trying to keep the bone away from you, because you're trying to grab it and pull it, and obviously half the fun is also pulling the bone, but also half the other fun is making sure you don't get hold of that bone to pull.
Absolutely. So yes, you guys can continue your conversations with Chey, but in the background, imagine every once in a while there's like a Bart leaps out from behind your shoulder and then falls back and stuff like that.
What the rest of you like to do?
I'm waddling on behind.
So Death is just kind of like in a meditative state, just kind of looking at all of them, and then suddenly on like over his shoulder, it'll just be like Lynobi's head kind of coming up and going, "What are we staring at?"
You don't sense that?
I sense the need to nap, but that's always the case whenever I'm around you.
There's more than just me here.
Detect magic.
Okay, so you cast Detect Magic. It's very interesting. You didn't do that last time, but here's what you see.
Way to go. Way to ruin it. Way to ruin it. God damn it.
This is a new buttons, a fresh buttons, a buttons that has no object permanence.
So, the whole place lights up with necromancy. It is on the floor, it's on the trees. It seems to all be sucked into the 3 mausoleums. And even with your detect magic, you even start to see the outline of some ghosts that are about, which are adding to your thing. They're just going about their day. You see one sitting on the bench. You see another one, very shady looking character, leather bandolier, hood made out of leather, knife in hand, picking nails with it. Possibly occasionally put the dagger away, flip a coin, put the coin away, go back to the dagger, that kind of stuff. Possibly if they were at a table, they would be doing that edgy stuff where they would, but they're not at a table, so that's not happening. But you can imagine it. They seem like that sort.
That guy, okay.
That guy. You see people robed. It's not, I wouldn't say it's completely overrun with ghosts here. There's maybe 4 in total, just going about. They disappear, a new one turns up, that kind of thing. But all this necromantic magic that you see everywhere is being sucked into the 3 mausoleums.
I am going to put Mercutio down.
Are you going to sacrifice him again for no apparent reason and just let
I
him die?
don't sacrifice him. He is a construct. He is made out of the pieces of every construct before him. Technically, he's a Franken zombie bat thing, but what he's not is dead.
Okay, I'm gonna bring that up every single episode since
I
the
know.
slime episodes. That's just how it's gonna work. Okay.
And Lynobi's explanations will just get more and more complicated every time they go to explain it.
What did you detect there?
A lot of necromancy, a lot of ghost. That one's hot.
Well, I wouldn't consider that a surprise, considering we're in the city of the dead. But
I know, but you know, Necropolis.
We're only supposed to deal with malevolent ghosts, right? These ones
not
are
all
okay.
ghosts are malevolent. Not everything malevolent's a ghost.
So these ones are allowed to do their thing, yeah? We don't have to.
Yeah. We're just not just gonna go around just like, no, they ain't doing nothing. I'm sorry, I'm on my peripheral. I just saw Ray just like
Fighting with Chey. Now,
but I'm gonna try something. I'm going
Don't
in.
forget about lunch. Don't forget about lunch. Self-care. Self-care tip. Bart. Self-care is important. It's punk to be self-aware and self-care.
Oh,
Okay.
you're going through the portal, okay?
No, I'm looking at them because they're going in there, but now I'm getting yelled at about lunch, and then I turned
what's
over
going
to
in there?
Dorothea, and I'm like,
what's going into the mausoleum?
the people, not people, but the magic and the energy go whoo. They're in the worst way possible. They explain what they saw about about everything being sucked inside of the 3 mausoleums, but it's just really interpretive dancey, and they're like, it goes in, and then it's going to into that way.
And once they're done, Bart is sitting next to Death with like their legs crossed and holding a cup of tea, and is like, I'm ready to partake in lunch so that we can begin investigation. And he brings his finger up. I can't quite do it with this mug, but
So
what is for lunch? Are we going to stop for lunch?
we need to rest before we go. That's like a clear thing that I would like to, because all of y'all have spell slots. Well, whatever.
Well, I mean, we can sit here. We can sit here for a
That's
10-minute chat with, thinking about it and talking to Death and everything.
Let's take a nap here for 8 hours so you guys can get your spell slots back before we go into the death rooms.
8
I got
hours.
spell slots.
I'm gonna break it checked out before
We
then.
say everyone immediately checking their spell slots.
I got plenty of spell. No, I have one because I cast all my spells a month and a half ago and I forgot. That's my impression of you, Fox. Okay? I'm Fox. I only have one spell slot for a cure light wounds, and then I'm gonna be fucked. Okay?
Fine. We reluctantly take a nap.
Like, I don't give a shit because I punch stuff and my fists never get tired. I got spell slots 1 and 2, baby. That's all I need. Kapa kapa. But
Yeah, they're your fist cantrips.
yep, exactly. I mean, I do have Thorn Whip as a cantrip, but
Catch these hands as a cantrip.
yeah, that's yes.
Send
Yes.
tweet.
Yep. You better quick do it now before I remember it like 3 hours from now, and I'm like,
Quick, go tweet it and then
I'm
link
doing
us.
it.
okay, cool. Anyway, yeah. So like, is it DM, gracious and mighty of all beings in this world, would it be safe for us to use death as a bubble of protection to then like have everybody take naps in this really awkward courtyard?
You're going to take a rest. I'm going to assume short rest, long rest. Which one?
Short
What
rest.
does
We don't
everybody
can afford
need?
a long rest.
Okay,
I'm fine.
you're taking a short rest in a graveyard, like the
No,
goths
I
you
don't
are.
me.
We're ghost
I mean, that's
hunters.
what I'm
This
what I'm
not
saying
weird.
is we need a long rest because it's not going to help if we take a short rest, right? Like long rests are what everybody needs for their spell slots to get back.
Okay, you're on watch, Death, and then Lynobi's gonna lay down.
Yeah,
Just like
I want to
eating
see
a
what.
sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Lynobi lays
Um,
down, points
I'm
at
gonna-
Death, and goes, "You're on watch," and then
I
goes
just
to
want to say,
sleep.
I just want to say that that gate was open wide, and there's all these kind of people wandering around here and enjoying the city of the dead. But that doesn't go past sundown. We're gonna get thrown out.
Well, then
Well,
everybody needs to sleep somewhere. I just assumed that this would be a nice place for y'all to take a
Lynobi
nap.
goes into the mausoleum.
Okay, fine. You guys don't need spell slots. So whatever.
No,
Bart doesn't give a
Leonie's
shit.
bringing out the
Gonna
dice,
sleep
and I'm
in
seeing
the
Oh.
mausoleum.
Okay.
I'm sleeping in the mausoleum. I'm gonna hide
All right.
in a corner and sleep.
We're gonna hide in
outside
a
the building.
mausoleum. Okay. So
Yeah.
anyway, take a break. Everybody, take a short rest.
Which
or a long-
mausoleum are you going to hide into? The left, the middle, or the right?
Wait, is the entrance the portals, or are the portals in the building?
They're in their buildings. They're in the buildings. They've always been in the buildings.
Okay, so I
Okay,
would like,
Fox. Well, what if we take a nap inside one of the buildings? Where are they going to check?
What do you think I was
inside?
saying?
I know. I'm just trying to relate it to Fox.
Isn't
So
it
that,
No, well, maybe. I mean, if we're lucky.
okay, man, I
I
really
once-
want. I want the
I once
person
took
who
a
was in
nap.
person. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I once took a nap in this waiting room in this hospital in some place called Geneva, and the doctors didn't find us until 4:30 in the morning, and by that time the sun was coming up anyway.
I just want the person who was arrested for impersonating nobility to be found sleeping in a mausoleum of one of the most famous families in all of Waterdeep. Okay, anyway, let's go into the left because left is always the right one, which would be it might be a specific color in the left that I know about. Okay, so
So you descend into
Bart-
the mausoleum.
Bart is ushering everybody in. And if Death follows us, that's cool. But I don't care about Death because he has 9th level spell slots. And so, boo is what I say to that.
Death also follows you in,
Yay.
Grudgingly, like, yeah, come on, D.
and you descend. You enter this, and it's a bit big for a mausoleum, to be honest, because you enter and it's instantly stairs. And unlike the others, some that were well kept and well not, this definitely does look well kept. This looks well visited. This looks maintained. And you step down. Each step, one by one. Sconces on the wall.
Ooh.
And you come to a large cistern-like area. And at the far wall is a large, blue, glowing portal.
Change the order.
It's blue.
I
On the
know
left.
you changed it. That's
Yes, I did.
How rude.
My prerogative.
No,
You're
I know.
You're
I'm just
allowed to
kidding.
change things. I am allowed to change things.
Yeah, you ruined it, Bond. You ruined it. You cast detect magic and you
I
fucked up
was
the plan.
Just said
Okay.
nothing happened.
We're in an alternate universe now where
The branches and
Lynobi
branches.
casts detect magic and the blue portal's on the left.
Fuck, that's left is my favorite side, and green is also my favorite color, and they were supposed to coalesce into my
What else has
favorite world.
changed? What else has
I
changed?
honestly
What I
just
can't
remember
I've
every
been
aspect.
here before. Okay. So yeah, Bart, like, let's have some tea, take a 8-hour nap. Death. Now, this is important. Is Death still a gnome? Or are they transformed into their
Yeah, as I described
right.
when you first saw Death, Death is as Death should be.
Okay.
And whose turn is it for when Death does change form? John's, was
I
it?
think
I
it's
think
yours.
yeah, it was John's. We just never got to that part because now that the worlds have diverged in so many different places, we may get there.
True. So, is there enough space away, like a safe distance from the portal, to actually have a rest?
Yes, so this place, if you imagine a circle, its circumference is about 100 foot. And if you don't know what 100 foot circumference is, Giggle it.
Man, I thought you said giggle it, and I'm like, nice, yeah, laugh it up because you don't know measurements. Gotcha. I will take a short rest, and then I'll just be on watch the entire rest of the time because I don't need a long rest. All of my stuff comes back at a short rest, so I want everybody to make sure they have a long rest, and so I will stay up. And if Death is gonna need a rest, I'll watch over them as well. But I'm good after a short rest, so.
Don't mind me, I just had to roll some dice. I rolled above 80 3 times.
Which is really good because higher numbers are good in D&D and maybe not in other games, but in this one, oh.
Yeah, it was like 86, 82, 84. So you take a short rest. But it is undisturbed. Fairly quiet. Dorothy, I'm imagining that you get your teapot out and your little travel tea kettle and make tea. You even have some of those molasses cookies left over for everyone to snack on. Death doesn't partake, of course. He does accept the tea, but it's the usual bony skeletal hands, pinky flicked out, just holding the tea. And the first 2 hours go without a hitch. But you've definitely had a short rest, so you'd also join Death on watch. Second hour goes without a hitch. That's second set of hours. It is the 4th hour. There we go. I've sorted my math out. I've been with toddlers, so I can only really count up to 10.
Wow, that's higher than me, so congratulations.
And by the 6th hour, the 5th hour goes by with no problems, but by the 5th hour, you hear the sound of jingling keys. You hear the sound back upstairs of a gate being closed and locked. And you hear those jingling keys move away.
Do I need to investigate to see if we're locked in here or if we're just locked in this cul-de-sac?
Have a look.
Okay. So Bart goes up and rattles the door to see if it's like locked.
It is locked.
Okay, so we're locked in this mausoleum. Okay. Bart's like, hey, Death. Which, have they transformed yet, or are they still in their scary
They're
form?
still in their true form.
Okay. Can you just finger of death this door real quick, right? And we're gonna probably have to do all the other ones too. You just like touch it, it rusts into death, which is, rust is the death of iron or whatever these are made out of, right? So oxidization, blah blah blah. Just like, why don't you get, we did a whole quest without you. Did you know that? So you're a little bit behind on the things that you need to get done for our party to, help you out in this world.
I only deal with mortals, not
These
inanimate.
were forged by mortals.
They are inanimate objects.
According to animism, they probably do have spirits, and they're now insulted by what you just said. So rude. Personification.
I just checked. No, they don't.
Nice. Okay, cool. Bart's like, fuck, you can actually do that. Okay. No, that's fine. No big deal. I'll take care of it. And so Bart just will grab a hold of these doors.
They're not doors, they're iron bars. I just thought
iron bars. Iron bars, and just sort of attempt to rip them or break them off
the locking mechanism. How is it locked? Is it
no, you're still rest. Shut up. You're asleep. Be quiet, long rester. I'm the one awake. This is time for Bart to shine.
While I yell plan.
It's time
This is
for
why-
Bart to shine.
This is why I want us to sleep.
Yeah. It's called the Bart Show, baby. Hey. Anyway, and so Bart will then reach around and sort of like take the iron bars, and then his thorn whips will sort of wrap around and give him extra strength, and then he'll stop and be like, oh wait, no, I don't need to do this. And he reaches into his pocket and takes out his lock picks because he is proficient in lock picking. Boom, nailed it. Oh, I'm sorry. You thought I was gonna try and beat it down with my wood hands? Nope. Boop, 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 boop.
Gotta
Okay.
hit us with the old razzle dazzle.
Yeah. So I will attempt to lock pick these with my amazing lock picking
Roll me a
abilities.
sleight of hand to
Okay.
attempt to lockpick this door.
Okay, 15.
Iron gate. So you put in the 2 sticks. I'm going to give a very ridiculous description of how I know how lockpicking works.
Bart is ridiculous, so this is perfect.
And you're in there, and you're trying to catch the mechanism that you pull to make the whole thing turn around and obviously push. It's a bolt lock, by the way. Pushes the bolt lock out the way. And you just can't seem to get the little hooky mechanism onto your hook.
Okay. Well, I mean, as many times as I can attempt to do it until like I get a 1 and it shatters my lockpicks and I cry because I only have 1 set. Bart will. I mean, look, they have like 4 hours of sleep left, so Bart's just gonna be like, I know it. I guess technically that one roll counts for that
actually,
whole
we're on the
time,
6
so-
hour.
Okay, all right. So I guess that 1 roll counts for all 2 hours. Okay, well that's fine. Bart will keep doing this, and he fails every time, and then he'll just wait for everybody to wake up and be like, somebody needs to come over and knock this.
So
Talking
yeah,
to you, artificer. Where's your knock spell? Come on, let's go.
so
Okay.
It's infused
Seventh?
in my boot so I can kick doors open.
7th hour passes. 8th hour passes. And everyone wakes up. You've had a long
And-
rest.
Okay, which one of you would be the most disconcerted if Bart was squatting over you, looking at you while you were trying to wake up? Which one of you would react?
I would probably panic punch you, not gonna lie.
Good. Okay. So yeah, because you're the one who also probably Bart knows will be able to unlock the doors faster. Yeah. You like open your eyes and Bart sort of like squatted down and he's got both of his hands under his chin and the llama's like looking at you with like a smile on its face. And he's like, time to wake up, little sweet thing. We have a door you need to unlock. So feel free to.
They don't have
Rocket punch,
eyelids, so they sort of just look like this for a while with like this film over their eyes. So suddenly that's gone. They're like, they're just like they move a lot to kind of like moisturize their eyes, and then you're like, hee hee, time to wake up. They're like, ah, right in the llama.
Yeah, okay. The llama gets smacked off of his head, and Bart like falls back. He's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
fair. Sometimes personal space is a thing that I forget about. I just look. They locked the mausoleum doors. I'm gonna need you to come up here and get these unlocked so we can, get moving on these portals."
I told you, like, it's the kobolds that all scrunch up together when we're sleeping. If you want to snuggle, come over here.
You were asleep, and so consent is important for snuggling. I just wanted to.
If you've ever seen a snake yawn, it's like a cat yawning, but worse.
Yes.
Where you just go, ah. Your entire
Keeps
body
going.
just like unhinges. Just, ah. They're like, okay. And they get up and they like waddle over to the and I really do have knock infused into my boots so I could kick doors down.
I mean, I assume that. Look,
I infuse things
Buns.
for aesthetic, not for
Buns, yeah.
usability.
Buns is extra AF, so I assume that that's where you put it. You know what I mean? Like,
What are we doing? I had this strange dream about somebody knocking boots. What?
that's
Best phrase I have not heard in a very long time.
I still am not. I've heard it a lot in villages, but I never really understand. It's like you get boots, so then you is it getting mud? You get
I knocked the door. The door's open.
and Bart's over helping Dorothea up. Like this is a thing that he does in the mornings when they sleep on the ground. If she needs help, Bart's sort of like squatted there and pretending to just rest. And she can climb
I can
him.
get up by myself. Don't.
I know.
worry
I'm
about
not.
me.
No.
Don't
I'm not.
fuss.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm not
Just
helping you. I'm
kinda-
just sort of. Yep.
Just
You're gonna rock
literally
back and forth.
turtling. Just, I got it. Give me a second.
Yep. Just gotta keep the momentum is the key. You know.
Like a weeble after it's like just there's one point where she's all the way upside down and then that's when she pops up.
Yep. Perfect. Like a gymnast. Okay.
I imagine Dorothy has a very strong core.
Yes, me too. I would imagine the abs
It's
of.
the shell. You know, it's like an exoskeleton.
I mean, that thing's like a corset. It holds everything in.
It holds everything in, baby.
Right?
Suck in this gut.
So you just
Yeah,
it's just an
like-
just an exoskeleton. It's just like the Sigourney Weaver kind of thing. You're just like Dorothy's like, stay away from her, you bitch.
This shell is just the version of Spanx. And I love
Yo, I need to get a Dorothea show. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Would it really be a corset or would it be a proper grandma girdle?
That's why I said
Oh,
Spanx.
definitely
yeah,
a proper
girdle,
grandma
yeah.
girdle, like the old ugly Spanx,
Like-
you
Like
know,
The way-
on the thigh, stops
that-
up at the sternum.
ugly.
The whalebone shit. Oh my god. Okay, here I go.
Oh.
Anyway, kick this door down, please. So
They do, and it is it is about as dramatic as you think it would be for Lynobi, where they like
but you
look
don't
at
have.
it and they like look at the type of lock and everything, and they can see all the scrapes from you trying to do the lock picks. They're just like, really? When all you had, and they like lean against it and they kick with their back foot, just kind of like kind of like
Wait,
the
you have-
fawn's doing the thing with his elbow, but it's
Hey.
their foot.
You have feet.
We talked about this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have
You
foots
do?
too, yeah.
I have
Oh.
feet and then a tail.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought.
And when Lynobi slithers, she's literally like on the ground doing the caterpillar, just
Oh,
moving.
okay.
Her,
Yeah,
legs,
I
her legs
honestly-
become
okay, all
like
right,
limp, and she just
Okay.
wiggles. Like that's when she slithers
When I
around.
swim, I
Cool.
just wiggle. But when I was running and I was like, I'm on all fours, it's like it's Spider-Man and you see the lizard like that. It's that.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
still
I
moving
gotcha.
tail, but it's me going like this. Just
I apologize for forgetting that. I just was like, man, do you put the boot on? Anyway. Good.
like,
We're good. We're
like
good.
like
Moving on.
Flying Dutchman and SpongeBob. You know, like, hop over his ghostly- that's when I with the boot. And sometimes I put a boot over my reptilian tail.
All right. So how many charges of knock do you have in these boots? Is it like permanent? Can you just keep?
I can do 4 infusions a day. I do them. My boots are always an infusion that I do, so it has 1 on it, 1 on each boot. So it always takes up 2. That's why I only ever do like 2 other infusions. The other 2 are my boots.
Okay, so you can unlock this one and another one. And should I attempt? Do you want to have like a lock pick off for the last one, where we take turns seeing who can open the last? Because we have.
Yeah, a lock
3.
pick off. I'm just gonna like put Mercutio down so that he can run over to another thing and start climbing up another lock and start doing it. I'll go
Okay.
get the other door and then we'll race for that 3rd one.
And Bart totally has missed this that is what you're doing, and like walks over to the 3rd one like, oh, I got magic, I can unlock things with magic, that's cool, but let's see some real skill. And then Mercutio's like already
they're
there,
like-
like
His little like bat thing, like those are the lock picks, and he's just in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
going just with his way.
and Bart has 1 tool in each hand, and he's like, oh hey, sup Mercutio, okay, cool.
Hi.
Hey, wow, that's like the 2nd word you've ever said to me. That's amazing.
Bye. And it like opens and swings in. And he walks like this.
Perfect.
'Cause he
Okay, important DM question that I need an answer to because we are second to last episode of the series.
Yes.
What words does Mercutio know?
Okay, so oh gosh, how many did I say he knows? Because I do know these.
Counting
I
on
mean, he
Dorothea
knows.
here.
Yep, this is a Dorothea
Everybody get
message.
the count. Here we go. So shiny. Hi. Bye. Gross. Yay. Blech. Run.
Okay.
This-
So
I love that
No,
gagging
yeah.
is a word. Just
Yeah.
gagging is a word.
Yeah,
For
gagging is a word. It's
I can picture the spelling in my mind.
Yeah.
HRGGHKH.
Ooh, the
okay.
K throws you off.
It's pronounced.
I apologize for anyone with like a gag reflex that is, you know, a little bit sensitive for all of our herking
I'm
sounds.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right.
I didn't even think of that. Oh, but yes, those are all of the words that Mercutio knows. I think he's done shiny a lot. He's done gross. He's done high and by. I don't think anyone heard him when he yelled run when we were fighting the lich.
No, I don't think I've heard run, but I definitely have heard shiny.
Yeah, he does
And
shiny a lot
gross.
because that's like the alert, like shiny.
Gross. I remember gross too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
gross.
gross is like grit. The gagging one, that's more of an alarm to like get away from somebody. It's like if somebody has things and they say something stupid, like that person is not neat. Just like, oh, well, I'm not gonna
Next.
say stupid.
Next.
It's the
Give me
next,
that.
the next thing.
Yeah.
And then hi bye, so that they can announce and say goodbye when we leave, because politeness is a thing that Dorothea taught us.
It's
And then
very
the third,
true.
and then run. So I think that's all of them. Did I forget one? No.
Nope.
So I think
Something-
he has done almost everything. He has done almost all of his words.
It's something when your construct is politer than you.
Yeah, it's true.
One of us has to have manners. It didn't have to be me.
We are the same, and therefore it's fine.
Dorothea. Death approaches you. While they're doing their lockpick thing and messing around. When your younglings are running around creating them up, but death approaches you. I think we're in danger here. Or more particularly, I'm in danger here. I'm about to be blinded.
By the light, jacked up like a loofah sponge in the middle of the night. Okay.
Hello, can I have my headphones?
Beyonce, how dare you?
I have a stream.
Beyonce, the stream is happening right now, Beyonce.
What's that thing where someone messed up her life? She's like, somebody getting fired.
That
There is actually a version of all the single ladies. There's a version.
I'm scared for him.
There's a version of all the single ladies in that accent.
All of us going, ooh, bitch.
Who's that? I can't remember who that is.
That's my other half coming home from work. Can you please wash your hands and disinfect yourself? Because you've been outside with the germs.
With the germs.
What song are you trying to remember?
I can't remember. It was like there's a version. It's like with the northern accent of the.
Oh right, yes, all the single.
Right.
I can find that. I will
Yeah,
find that in
right.
our break. I know exactly which one you're talking about. But yes, Death is having a conversation with Dorothea before I was blinded. The city of the dead is not sleeping.
Well, that certainly doesn't sound good.
There's almost too much activity here.
Like a hub, is that what you're saying?
Everything that should be asleep is awake. And it's almost like I'm being deliberately overwhelmed.
I'm looking at my spells. I don't really have anything. Well, I'm gonna kind of gesture to the. We're outside of the 3 mausoleums, correct? We're in the little cul-de-sac. I'm gonna gesture to the 3 of them, and I'm assuming they're coming from these things. You brought us here.
They are drawing to here, but it's everywhere. This is where it is concentrated.
Well, gang, gather round.
What is it?
What?
Well, I reckon here, Death, our friend, is asking us to go on a job for them. And I'm reckoning this one is not something we've ever dealt with before.
Please. What's the pay, though?
Ching.
We're not one to charge our friends.
Since when?
Since always. And besides,
That's not
I'm the accountant.
not for
To be
15
fair, Bart,
years.
we are each other's friends and we work together, so there's not much charging we could have done. But we have one outside of the business now.
I still get charged for Chey's food. I don't. We get. We
That's
charge.
because Chey can't get a job. We tried like 3 times. He keeps burning things down. Arson.
I
That was me.
mean,
Sorry.
yeah. Look, that's because Fox likes to turn into a wolf, and they get riled up together, and then flames. Okay, it's
So-
not Chey's fault. Chey just wants to be a grocer dog. Doesn't happen. All right. Anyway, sorry. I just, the first rule of our group is make sure you get paid. That's like rule number 1. So I just wanted to make sure we were getting paid. But if we're doing this pro
Wasn't it-
death,
Wasn't the deal when we first met to get more time each?
was that what it was? Oh, I don't know if it was more time or just like we wouldn't be murdered immediately while he was hanging around, right? Is that what it
Right.
was? I don't remember. That was like 83 or 84 years ago. Okay.
Been 84 years since I heard the original plot to date this year.
Bathroom's got, I got a few more rings
Yep.
on me now.
I gotta cut. Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of look. You want to cut my finger off and count? It's a lot. All right. So what do we got to do, Death?
Yeah.
Or Dorothea? Who's running this? Dorothea, you running it? Come on.
Well,
Let's get the. What do I gotta
don't
punch?
really know the details of it all, but it seems like this might be some kind of source for death. Not this death.
Just saying it multiple times doesn't really clear it up for me.
That's
It's
fine, so
called
much fun.
emphasis.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got it.
So this just happens to occur when we're here. I think it's very auspicious.
I think it's been happening for a while, right?
No.
You brought us here after all.
When you got the job, I just happened to follow. But I have been destructive of late.
Yeah. I mean, pointing at things and making them melt pretty much sums up destruction. All right. So what do we got to do? We got to walk into these weird glowing portals in each of these mausoleums. Is that what we're doing? And Bart immediately picks one and walks towards it. That's not the one that we've already been in, but another one. Bart has stopped caring about the plan because no one has told it to him, and Death doesn't know what it is. So
We
Bart's plan is
don't
punch the
know.
portal,
Tell you
and that's
what
what.
we don't know.
Wow. Bart's plan's not accepted. Shocking, everybody.
Wait, first, you're saying the word plan like you're supposed to. That's the first problem.
It is a plan. Okay, all right. It's not stupid. It's just out of practice.
everybody, we are back. Thank you very much for waiting. I hope you got yourself refreshed. This is not alcohol, this is just Vimto. I got this when I went to the beach with my niece and nephew. My nephew wanted a dolphin one. It had like a big dolphin head on it. And of course, my niece, being my little clone, wanted the unicorn one. I too wanted the unicorn one, but I was thirsty as hell, so I got the palm tree because it was the biggest cup. So, and also I wasn't allowed to also have a unicorn because my niece told me no. As I said, she could be me. She's a sassy little 5-year-old. So welcome back to A Date with Death. Our party are all back together with Death, and yeah, we're having a time. We've got some weird necromancy going on. Death has just given a warning to Dorothea regarding the nature of this, because Death doesn't feel like the rest of the party would listen, but they would listen to Dorothea.
Right, so what you're telling me is I can't just go run off, punch one of these portals, and that's not a plan? When has that not been a plan? Okay, fine. You know what? Bart doesn't need to do a Bart plan. Bart can do a you plan, Dorothea. What's the plan? And if you say I have to punch a portal, serendipity.
Forgot to mute myself, sorry. I don't think we necessarily have to punch the portal. I think we may have to do something a bit riskier this time. And we've seen these portals, correct?
We've seen one portal.
seen
so
one.
far.
Yeah,
Okay,
you've
so I'm
seen one
assuming there's
portal.
more
So
portals.
you've seen the blue. You know
I mean-
that there's necromancy going into the
Right.
other things. You can
Okay.
assume. You can put,
Yeah.
A and B together and get C.
All right. Well, fine. If maybe there's only one portal and it's not as bad as we think, I'm gonna go explore one of the other, the one street. Since the left one's already explored, I'm gonna go straight in front, and I'm gonna walk down there and look and see if there's just a portal inside that one, right? And then I'm gonna
Be
do that
careful.
I'm not gonna go. Don't worry. Unless the portal comes at me, then I can't help anything. You know what I mean? But
So wait, so do we know what happens when you go in it?
no, why would you want to go in it? Why don't you just punch it, close it, stop the necromantic energy from getting sucked into it?
Or we go to the source and figure out where it's going in the portals?
You want to walk into a portal that we don't know? I mean, that sounds like a
No, I do not want
plan.
to walk into a portal. I want to tie rope to Mercutio and throw him in it.
If we're gonna go into the portal, we should just go into the portal.
No, it's fine. I just have to go get rope. Just hold on a second.
I'm gonna
is
go
it the-
look at the other portal or the other mausoleums and see what portal, if there are portals in the other ones. Excuse me, everybody who's listening, but we've done this part before, and I keep forgetting what we know and what we don't. It's my fault.
So in the middle, there's a black one, and to the right, there's a green one.
Ugh, the worst direction. Okay. Look, I hate right. Okay, I just hate it.
Okay.
It's because I can't turn right. It's really.
Do you
it's
go in it? Do you just like go in it? You punch?
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Okay, all right. All right, so there's a green one on the right, and there's a black portal in the topmost one, and then blue. Do we need to like combine the color energy together or something?
You said the color energy.
I mean, I don't know. I like Natalie.
You know
and
what? I'm
blue
going to help
because
you out
it's
this time because you didn't work it out last time. But Folks, because you know so much about Waterdeep, why don't you roll me a history check with advantage?
Okay.
Because you know quite a bit about Waterdeep.
16.
Perfect. Your total?
Yes.
Alrighty, perfect. You know that in the City of the Dead, because it's so overcrowded, that they had to create whole new extra dimensional places to put more dead people. And and you assume that these portals are those extra dimensional places.
Okay. So yeah, I share that information. I was like, but it seems like something isn't properly dead, or is waking up, or I don't know. We need to go and figure out what the problem is.
I agree. So, I will lead all of us into the exact same portal all at once. That sounds like a good plan. Don't split the party, right?
Which one?
Just kidding. You believed me for a second, didn't you? No. Look, if we're not getting paid for this job and we're doing this for death, I want this done quick. I want to go home. We each take a portal. We go into it. We turn off whatever sucky faucet thing is in there. Boom. Bada bing, bada tree. We're done.
We all just make the same face when you say bada boom, bada tree. We all go, what?
Exactly.
And then that's
Look,
when you turn around like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, come on, everybody. I'm the leader, even though no one ever listens to me and my plans are terrible.
And then we all
Today's
do
the
your
day.
plan and go.
Yeah, but today is the Bart plan.
Today is the day.
So yeah, Bart like looks at everybody else and is like, unless you think we should all go into one and slowly progress through each one. What do you think, Death? What's your take on the sitch? What's the sit rep? Fist bump. Come on, give it to me a little bit, Death. Come on, Death.
Just
little
death
bit of this.
fist bump.
It's
Come
reach
on,
lower. You'll know.
It's a quick time event.
Oh, that's right. No, he's that 9 foot tall, like.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, a little bit of this, buddy.
Death just looks at the fist with his skeletal face and just puts out his fist, but it's above yours.
Right. Hold on, I got you. Yes. And that's called flirting, everybody. Boop, 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 boop,
Your first date quick time event.
Yeah. I had to. Why is this controller's D-pad so swingy? It's so hard to figure out where the fist is on this thing. Jeez.
Don't leave him hanging.
Yeah. As a timer goes down, oh no, it's getting red. Quick, press A
Don't leave
before.
him hanging.
Oh. Yep.
Awesome.
One of those bars like going up and down. There's like a window you have to get it between.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Well, I just scored my -3 with Death has now become a -2. I'm awesome at this game. Okay.
Your love meter went up.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, you know what? If we continue Date with Death
love meters
into another series, I'm gonna make these things
Remember
that I'm gonna press
Yep.
to
Oh,
come up
God.
on screen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it a proper dating sim.
Nice.
Someone would
Very
need to draw the
Dragon Age where it's
characters,
like
but I will
Death
do
like
the
that,
UI.
Death
Yeah.
dislike that.
Yeah.
Death
Ooh.
very
Yes.
dislike that.
-10 heartbreak. You'd be like,
And like
oh
a
God.
bar. I'm gonna make a bar with like your relationship scores. That's
Can
definitely
we
what's
have
gonna
a
happen.
shop so we can buy Death gifts? To
Yeah,
up our
exactly.
love
Yeah,
meter?
Look,
sure.
if I just buy cakes and then hand them 50 of them, they love me. So I'm good. I'm into it.
Someone else will have to DM because that's far too much to produce and
Yep.
DM.
Yes,
But I
okay.
will totally produce it.
I will GM the shit out of like a.
I was like,
you
I
have
will
to-
find
yeah.
a DM.
I will DM the shit out of a game where you guys have to like
Romance
suck up.
you?
Yep, you have to.
Yes.
No, not me. Not me. No.
Oh.
The personification that is in the game. I don't want anybody to romance me. That's weird.
Okay, so we won't do death next time. Should we do like plague or war?
Yeah. Oh
or...
God. War. Okay. I vote.
Apocalypse
I vote-
love.
All right. Yep. I vote.
All right,
Will
war.
we
your
will
love
discuss- we
save
would-
the world.
You know what? We're getting
exactly.
close to the
Taglines and
end.
shit.
We're getting
Okay,
close to
anyway.
the end. We will discuss more.
Four
But yeah.
horsemen of the first date.
Yep, exactly. Oh my God, it's so good. I love it. Death will come back, but only as like an ancillary character, like DLC that you only get to date like half as long as everybody else, and it becomes like a time crunch thing where you're like, oh shit, I had to grind rep points before I started this part. Anyway,
Yeah,
Okay.
there'll be an entire wiki page on how to
Well,
romance death by the time we're done with it.
I tell you what, if that's what we're doing, then I Bagsy the Black Portal. Bye. And start running.
Wait! I thought we were discussing this like a team and not just running off into portals. It's my job to do
You
that.
said we never follow your plans, and then Mercutio's gonna scoop Mercutio up and then hop into.
This is a really bad idea, but you
It
know
was
what?
your idea.
Fine. I
No
like
problem.
this idea. And I trudge towards the green portal, muttering about like the worst. Why did they pick this plan to be the one that they listened to me on? This is terrible.
And Dorothea, where are you going?
I am going. I kind of just estimate my children for a moment. Thinking through, kind of counting on, not counting, but like tallying up, well, pros and cons underneath my breath. And I settle on Lynobi. Lynobi's the youngest, my baby.
Yeah.
And the other two are fairly responsible, especially Fox. At least you're stronger, so.
Ooh.
I'm scrappy.
You're scrappy, but they're a tree. So
Yeah. They a tree.
I just kind of
Fair, right? Will Smith presentation.
right, exactly. And I'll shuffle along with Lynobi, wherever Lynobi's going.
And to be clear, Chey comes with me, right? And not Death. I don't care how nice Death is to Chey. Chey is my companion and my friend. It's literally built into my class. Please don't take him away from me. Yeah,
Chey
anyway.
goes with you.
Okay.
Death goes with Fox, so no one is alone.
Yay.
And you each step into these portals. The blue one blinding you for a moment. The green one just kind of like brighten and fading into darkness. And the black one absorbing all light. Lynobi. Once you are done blinding of the light, you are located in a adobe-like structure built out of clay. You're in a room. This room doesn't feel familiar, or does it? Because you see all your experiments set up neatly on a table, which is not really like you, but there they are, they're your experiments, even with the one shoe and parts of Mercutio.
That's what I call mine is back.
Just Fimto, she says.
This room has a simple bed and a small window, the window being a small slit. There's a great tapestry on the wall that, as you examine it, seems to be woven out of feathers. And you look out of this window, and you're in a rich tropical land. The air is warm and moist, just right for you. And each building seems to be either very square or pyramid-like shaped. Great patterns are painted on the walls in bright, luminescent colours of pinks, yellows, blues, greens, showing snake-like creatures. And you consider for a moment, what? Wasn't I just in a portal? Roll me a wisdom save, please.
All these dice are not a D20 to be found. Okay, I will just use you. 15.
No, you weren't just in a portal. We're going to pause right there. But the green goes bright and then dims. And before you know it, it's almost like a new dawn. You know, the way the light, even though you can't really see light, but the way things come back into focus with your, not tremor sense, blind sense. You feel the bubbling of a brook. The breeze upon the grass. Suddenly in your vision, trees appear, and you seem to be enclosed in a rocky grove or a dingly dell. And you're taken aback a moment. This doesn't seem like a extra-dimensional portal to an extra place where you bury your dead. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Come on. Ooh, oh, a 19.
Nice. You're quite sure that you just stepped through a portal in Waterdeep. Where are you? And before you can really take in what's around you, you sense other movement. This movement being other blights like yourself. And while you look like a bracken, these are like willows, beeches, oaks. You can tell them by all their different colours of wood and foliage, all different heights and shapes. You're surrounded by others that are like you. And they all seem to come out of various places of where they were resting, being by other trees or nestled between rocks. There's even one blight that seems to be made out of an orchid. You can tell by the way their long roots seem to grip the floor as they lean on by. They look very fussy. And we're going to pause you now.
Can I get like a quick little reaction of what Chey's doing?
Sure.
Or do you want to wait until after?
No, you can
Either
totally
way.
do.
Okay. So what am I feeling of? Should I roll like animal handling, or like what can you tell me? Like what do you think? Do you need Chey to roll a save or something? Okay, wisdom save as well. Okay. Ooh, not 10.
There are so many smells here.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice. Cool. Okay. Yeah, and so Chey starts doing a little shake and getting excited, and it's doing that thing where you know the dog's like, I know I'm not supposed to go without someone telling me, so I'm gonna keep like rocking back and forth like I'm gonna take a step, but no. But I also obedience versus fun, it's very difficult. And then we can fade off. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I knew what she was feeling.
No problem. Forks. There is darkness. And as your eyes begin to adjust to this darkness, a smell hits you. It's that earthy, rich smell of being deep underground. But this is not just any earthy smell of being deep underground. The kind of smell that usually makes you homesick. No, this is the smell that you wished all other smells were when you are underground. This is the smell of home. And as your eyes adjust to the darkness, you realize you are back in your nest. You're surrounded by little clutches of eggs, all in their family groupings. You see your relatives tending to the nests, going about their day, doing what kobolds do in their homes. You're bewildered. They are all dead. Roll me a wisdom save.
Okay. That's a total of 25.
Yes, no, this doesn't feel right. You are quite certain that they are all dead and your nest was destroyed. In fact, you kind of remember there's this fuzzy little memory that you're trying to access. It just seems a little bit too distant, that tip of the tongue feeling. It's almost reminiscent of the day your nest was attacked.
He wants to warn everyone. He wants to shout out.
We're going to pause you there. Dorothea. The bright light. Obviously you can't see the bright light, but your little pixie spirit, I forgot what it's called, sprite,
It's a snapdragon.
Snapdragon, reports about being blinded. And actually, you think you can see it too. Maybe, or maybe it's just the description of it being seared into your mind. But as your eyes adjust, you are in a dark room. And this is not your Snapdragon reporting this to you. No, you can see this. You are quite certain of it. Red, thick curtains trimmed with gold fringe line the walls. It's a bit damp here, a bit wet. There are hooded figures in red cloaked things, all seeming to move down a corridor, and you are moving too. You're faster than normal. Things don't hurt as much. You feel a little bounce and skip in your step. You follow these figures. Wait a minute, where is Lynobi? Roll me a wisdom save, please.
I can do that. Where's the sheet?
Me roll wisdom save?
No,
Not me. A 21.
maybe Lynobi is in one of these cloaked hoods, perhaps? You follow them. And you're led into a grand room. A room that both seems like you've been here before and yet you haven't. It seems to be like a mishmash of rooms that you have been in before. And at the end, a very tall, statuesque, obsidianly carved representation of Gratz. Ah, yes. Gratz. You fondly remember your days within the cult of the Prince of the Demon Lords. And we're going to pause you there.
I was young once, Bart. Don't shake your head at me.
Not Gratz. Anybody
No,
but Gratz.
do not understand. Do not. No, the trauma.
What trauma? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, shocking.
He's hot, man. All right, he's hot.
Out of all the demon lords and out of all the demons,
Yeah,
this is my favourite.
yeah.
And he is hot. No one can convince me otherwise. You are situated in your room. This is definitely your room. You're 100% convinced of it. You are tinkering away before a servant walks in. They are Yuan-Ti like you. Except their top half is humanoid. Their bottom half is a snake. You immediately recognize, for some reason, although you're not quite sure why, that they are a servant. Because of the bangle that they wear on their arm, it's just a simple bangle with a token. You kind of like put your arm on your, just kind of like reflecting it as you're baffled by why that is. And you're like, why is that, touching your shoulder? Why is that there? And you realize that you too have a bangle. You recognize it as a noble symbol of a house daughter. Mistress, come now, it is no time to play. Your parents are expecting you.
No, thank you.
But your father will be most disappointed.
I'll look up at Mercutio. Yes. Fine. I think everything's normal. This is my room. Sure. Fine. I'm gonna get up and go away. I feel like a thud in my hair, and it's Mercutio landing on me. And then I follow them out the room.
Leonie, sorry, is there a issue with the audio?
Fixed. Mic test. Mic test.
I
We
can hear
good?
you.
Yes.
Bojo64?
Hmm.
You could hear me. Yay! Thank you, Bojo. BJ64? Thank you very much. Oh, so I'll start all that description again. You enter a room. It is beautiful. There is a slice of tree with all kinds of exceptional food on the table. There are two Yuan-ti already sat down here, a female and a male. The female's hair locked and kind of like pulled back and shaped in this kind of extravagant peacock like shape. The other feathers ingrained into it just to give it life and color. The male, his locks are thicker, and each one has like practically a bracelet holding them together in a very extravagant style with two locks just pulled down to his chest. One has your markings, the other one has your coloring.
I like go in and I see them, and first off I'm just like. Second of all, I would like to look around the room and see. Are they the only two people in here, other than me and the servant?
Other than you and the servant, yes.
Is there? On the way down, when I was looking at all of the murals and everything, did they depict anything that was more of a regular life, like, or do I just kind of know what to do? I'm trying to figure out where I am.
As you ponder this, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Again. Roll another 15.
Of course you know what to do. These are your mother and father, of course. Look at the markings. Look at the coloration. You know that this is your breakfast room. This is not where you have dinner, but this is your breakfast room. This is where you start the day together.
Yep. Okay. Everything's normal. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm going to sit down at my assigned place where I normally sit, and look at my breakfast like it normally is, and complain about my egg like I always do, and ask for more salt.
Good morning, child. Sleep well?
I didn't sleep.
Sorry to hear that. Are you worried about your academy examination today? I'm sure your inventions will go down a treat.
Yeah. It was less worried about the academy and more worried about whether or not my inventions would work. I'm less concerned about getting in as I am them putting me in the correct class so that I'm not surrounded by idiots.
The man says, "You're my child. Of course you won't be put among idiots. Even if I need to bribe that fool
No.
professor."
You promise. You promise.
It is the way of things.
I can do it myself, Dad.
Yes, but we're your parents. We're here to help.
I know.
We're going to pause right there. But you are in a dingly dell with many, many other blights.
Ooh.
Waking up doing blight things.
Okay. And I turn around and the portal's not there anymore, I assume. Okay.
Correct.
So is the idea of the portal fading from my mind still, even though I still sort of I'm grasping that idea, or do I have like a strong idea that I came in here with something to do and I know what I need to do? Bart is like extremely mission focused, and so it was come in here, figure out what's causing the necromantic magic, and like stop it. And that's like, yes, there are other blights here, and that is interesting to Bart, and Bart wants to explore that. But it's one of those things where he doesn't connect that these two things might be together. It just might be like, this is the realm where they put dead bodies, and there are people like me around. That's awesome. I'll talk to them later, or I'll talk or ask them questions about my mission. But my mission is the thing that needs to happen first. That's always kind of what Bart is focused on, because he doesn't really know how to do it any other way than that.
I would say if you're trying to hold on to the idea, roll me another wisdom save.
Oh dear. Can't it just be like a con save from my root memory?
No, because
Okay.
it's not.
Wow.
It's not a
Holy
poison.
shit. No, I know. 19 again. Wow. Okay.
So you managed to hold on to the idea of your mission,
Okay.
but
Right.
it's still slipping. And
Sure.
like it's like the more you try and focus on it, the more it's starting to slip.
Okay. And so the fussy orchid, because that's the one that Bart would immediately go to and think of as Dorothea, and so therefore the leader of the Blights, walks up to them, says, "Hello, I am Bartholomew of the great tree of Gilgamesh, once removed. This is Cheyenne, my faithful friend and companion." And Cheyenne like sits and barks because this is a routine. And I am here to stop the evil necromantic energy that seems to be being absorbed by this place. I am also a member of Spirit and Scones. If you've heard of us, here's my card. And he hands like a card that Dorothea makes him carry, like he has like a stack of them. And he like holds it out for the orchid thing, if it even registers his like rote.
The
It's
orchid
good
does.
advertising.
The orchid does register, and their face. You know how orchids look like they have that little instep bit that seems to be both mouth and nose, with the long strip going in, and then they seem to have like elaborate side pieces that are both head and hair, and it looks at you. Why do you carry pieces of dead mushed wood with you?
Oh, because it's not alive. And when it was, I had nothing to do with its death. And it's required as part of my job to ensure that everybody knows that where I go, Spirit and Scones goes with me. And we are a preeminent paranormal investigating squad. And he's like reading this off of like in small print off the card.
Well, we don't carry weird pieces of mushed wood together. What is that? Is that charcoal mixed with alcohol on it?
Yes, it is. Look, I see that our ways are very different, yours and mine. And he takes the card and he sort of just like sets it on a tree that's not alive. He wants to make sure he checks that like there is an actual tree that isn't an actual sentient being. Is there one? That's my question.
Yes, there are
Okay,
trees
all right.
that are just trees. Although,
Okay.
you know, as you're looking, you do notice an ent or two.
Nice. Never seen an ant before. And he like sticks the card like near the tree or in the tree, like in a little crevice. And he's like, I'll just put that there for later. If I don't actually leave the card somewhere where I did the spiel, they don't believe me and they think that I just didn't say it. And they count my cards when I get back. And so, yes, we are different, you and I, but we have a common enemy, and that is whatever is. And he like looks around and he's like, doesn't look like there's a lot of necromantic energy. So he, for the first time in like the entire time we play this game, I think he like activates sense undead, right? Because that's his. He can't speak to them, but he can sense them. And so this is his like guiding light, and he like turns on. He's like, well, I would like to continue our conversation. I have to save it for later. I have a mission. And he like rudely walks past. So if this thing tries to stop him, that's fine. But like Bart and Chey I think is like sniffing everything and like running around, but like running circles around Bart, and Bart is just trying to figure out what needs to happen next. And the llama is the one, right? So here's this bracken that's a person, and inside of it and tangled in roots is this little llama that has like an expressive face on it, and the llama is like twisting its head all the way around backwards and forwards and looking at everything, but the whole body of Bart is walking like straight and not, but the llama's like, and it's, you know, it does that anime like face where it's like ah, and like the mouth opens and like that ah, like surprise shock. But Bart is just this is laser.
So you're sense undead. You don't sense any undead here.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to actually use it one time.
No problem. It was a very good use.
Yeah. And so Bart's like, okay, there's nothing here that I can sense with this extremely useful power that I never use. And so he stops like another random blight. What blight is it?
It is a reed blight.
Okay. hello, my name is Bart. And then he is about to go into the spiel again, but he's literally walked like 10 feet. And he's like, okay, no. If it's 10 feet, you don't do the whole thing again. And he says, my name's Bart. Do you know the source of the necromantic power that's been being absorbed by this realm?
Necromantic power. Nothing here around here like that.
But I was on the other side of a portal that is not there anymore. And my friends, who are very good at magic, assured me that necromantic energy was being absorbed in here. And I walked through the portal to stop it.
Roll me another wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh. I mean, I only have a 2 in wisdom, so eventually this is going to roll. No, 17. I keep rolling 17s and 15s. This is fucking amazing. I'm like, well, when I roll a 2,
every time you... So how it's working is every time you focus on it, the DC's getting 1 point higher.
Ah, okay. Oh, shit. Okay.
But as you're talking about this portal, you ever do that thing where you're talking about something and then suddenly you become unsure of the facts, and it's around about that point you're like, I really need Google, but obviously we live in a world where Google doesn't exist.
Right. Well, that's my whole life, so thanks a lot for that. Calling me out on Bart and me being the same person. Yeah, there was a portal, and then where is this? Where am I though? Because I've never seen so many blights before.
You're in Aurora.
Is this a town or is it a nation?
We are the nation of the Blights, yes. This is where we live.
And you carved this nation out of the death and destruction of all other races.
Oh, no, there are other races beyond the mountains, but this is ours. Where we live in peace. Where we can thrive and cultivate.
But that's not... But Gilgamesh doesn't... That's not what Gilgamesh cares about. Gilgamesh cares about death.
We are not born of Gilgamesh. We are born of the life tree.
There's another tree. You can be born from something other than Gilgamesh.
My friend, you seem really confused. Come speak to our elders. They will teach you all about who you truly are.
I know who I truly am, and I think I want to cut with, I know who I truly am. And then it's like trails off.
Yes, and that is the perfect time to cut. Folks, you are back in your nest.
I start jumping up and down in a very agitated way, flapping the useless wings, and just setting off sparks from my claws. And it's like, everyone, look, you must listen, you, put those eggs down. No, you, that trap can wait. No, everyone, look, you have to listen very carefully. Now, I know, as your leader, I have led you very wisely, and I have been the greatest leader ever known. But in the search for the wildfire, we dug too deep. We disturbed something. Something's coming. Something is coming along. Look, you're all in terrible danger. How do they react? Muted again?
I really need to figure out what's wrong with my computer. So yes, so as you're flapping around and sparks and embers coming off you, one disgruntled kobold female, who you know is your aunt, just gives you a big shh. You wake them. She's turning eggs, and one of your embers floats behind an egg, and you see a little tucked up kobold embryo in an egg. But as you continue about you being the leader and stuff, people are paying attention. They're still kind of just like going around what they're doing. They look a bit confused because you've never behaved so erratically before. and they're paying attention, and they're going, but we have scouts out, you hear from your cousin, four times removed.
Up or down?
Up, of course. That's where all the threats come from. Those big, loud
We've always thought so. We
adventurers
were
with
wrong.
their metal boots, and they come around and they stomp about and they kill us for no reason.
But yes, but if we go deep enough, there are also dangers, and we went too deep.
I think you've bumped your head, your aunt says.
I can't reach the ceiling.
I think you should sit down, have a nice cup of mudwort tea, and just settle your nerves. And just, what, did this come to you in a dream, a vision?
With the wisdom saving throw before, what am I thinking about the portal and what's happened until this point? Am I aware?
You are aware, but if you're going to try and think about the portal and what happened before again, I'm going to need you to make another one. This is how it works. Whenever you try and focus on the memories of the past, it's the spell that's affecting you is going to challenge you.
Okay.
And every time you do it, it's going to increase by 1.
You mean when you pass a wisdom save instead of being just slowly sucked in by the illusion?
Says the cleric, who should have a very high
Cleric.
You're not? Oh, you have cleric saves? No.
I don't know. That's another 25.
Yeah, you are holding on to this very firmly. There was a portal. You look behind you. There's no portal now. You are definitely, the feel of the earth beneath you, the smell, the little bits of roots coming down from the glowing mushrooms. Everyone this is exactly how you remember it.
My relative looks like sympathetically as I start muttering to myself, maybe this is a vision of what could have been had all that not happened that day. Yes. Yeah, pass it over.
And the tea is just out for you. It's just how you remember it, from the heat and the feeling of it going down, the warmth in your stomach.
Just wallowing in the nostalgia of it.
Yeah, it's completely wallowing in the nostalgia. And, as people are gathering around, they're trying to comfort you. You've been draped over with a little woven blanket that's been made from underdark roots. They're trying to figure out what's going on with you, because to them you're behaving very, very strangely. Obviously you're trying to convince them. And suddenly you hear a large explosion. And we're going to pause right there. Dorothea. You're in a temple of grats. Don't shake your heads.
Run.
I'm excited.
Flee.
Don't shake your head, Shadow of Vecna people. Adelaide wasn't with us back then.
To be fair, I was trying to get it then too, so I can't blame you.
I know, but look, can we just move on from the fact that you were trying to get it back then and just say, no, don't try and get it now.
Thorn lives on.
All right.
We were already reminded with all this Tasha's Cauldron of Everything stuff and all this
Oh,
Tasha
man.
trucking up with that guy as well.
I mean, he looks like crushed velvet. But how could you not?
I crush his velvet. Can we stop?
Okay, so no. I want to point this out. You say we. The only thing that's been coming out of anybody's mouth is fine, except yours. So how about you stop? All right.
That's my response to you.
All right. I'm fair. I deserve it. But also, yes, Dorothea, we apologize for distracting from your
You're
love
fine.
story.
It's fine. They're having a bit of PTSD because Gratz featured quite heavily in the Shadow of Vecna. And you know, you begin looking around, trying to find the right height, the right body shape. You think you find just the right one at the height. You think you see a lock. You pull down the hood. It's not Lynobi. It's not even a Yuan-Ti. They look at you a bit confused. Eager, are you? And then they put their hood back up.
This is some eyes wide shut shit. This. I go to the next room and everybody just like having sex everywhere on every surface imaginable. That's it.
It's a temple of Gratz. Of course that's going to happen, but you haven't got to that room yet. What would you like to do? What are you thinking?
It's a good question. I am still looking for Lynobi. But as I go through, I'm assuming it's just a series of rooms. As I'm progressing through, you can see my attention not drift, but get divided. Just because, you know, I think I recognize old friends maybe, or just like remember old practices and pausing to watch and admire before carrying on kind of thing.
Yeah, and each room is another level of like debauchery. Not everything is sexual. You know, some things are just about food, some things about drink.
Exactly.
It's all about pleasure. There's just one room and it's just filled with pillows. And each pillow just looks super comfortable. This is clearly like the sloth room, where you just, everything's so comfortable. And there's just like people draped around like classical pictures everywhere. But yes, as you descend deeper and deeper into this temple. And you also notice that, you know, these are old friends from several hundred years ago. Yeah, some long dead because, you know, races have different lifespans. And as you try and hold on to Lynobi, as the debauchery is and pleasure seeking is distracting you, I need you to roll me another wisdom saving throw.
I can do that. Wisdom saving throw. 18.
You are managing to hold on to that thought of Lynobi. In fact, you're not quite sure why Lynobi would be at such a place. Why your sweet child would find
So
their
innocent.
way. In fact, knowing your child, you try and find possibly the most interesting room that you can. Maybe something with inventions.
Right. Machines. Contraptions, you might
And
say.
attached to lots of rope. Yeah, for sure.
Levers and pulleys.
That exact thing is exactly what I'm thinking. This is my favorite thing. I'm so glad I asked you this at the beginning.
I find Lynobi. Lynobi's just tied to like one of those like spread eagle things, and it's like going in a circle, and she's like, wee!
Bold of you to assume Lynobi would be the.
Our after stream conversations are leaking in stream. Oh, and I'm getting warm.
My cheeks hurt.
You have like 3 weeks worth of wackiness that was just like.
It's been cooped up. It's been cooped up.
Is this the kind of thing that goes on after I've gone home, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a quiz and
I
everything,
see.
John.
I see. Well, thanks for sparing me.
You're welcome. And you eventually end up in this one room with contraptions of all different shapes and sizes. There's even just like one for feeding you. It's just, it picks up a grape and it drops it in your mouth. It is the ultimate thing of luxury, decadence, and pleasure. It's even like encrusted in jewels. And sitting in this contraption is a figure that you recognize. That dark, crushed velvet skin. Laying on a pillow. Jet black hair. Eyes so dark that they could almost be filled with every void and galaxy. Many a person of many a race draped over them like scarves. The contraption feeds them grapes as well. It's all very relaxed. There's thick incense in the air. It all smells very good. Everything looks very good here. You catch their eye. A clawed finger comes up, beckons you closer.
I'll go.
And we pause there.
Oh no, we wouldn't want you to do anything. Oh, I'll go. Fine, I guess. I guess I'll come drink myself over you. Poor Dorothea.
Poor Dorothea. Lynobi, you have left your parents' home. You are walking along a very wide street. It is so wide that you could probably have 6 carts here, side by side. But it's mostly people. The streets are clean. A slight sandy-like dust drifts over them. The sun is not yet high in the sky, but you can already feel the warmth coming from the earth, reflecting on the buildings, which are all painted white to reflect away the heat. Behind you, the kindly servant, who is carrying a contraption underneath a silk piece of cloth. Your invention for the academy, which you know. You're heading to a grand building, a great stepped pyramid with steep steps. You have to ascend. There's at least 100. You did.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's just like walking. Nobody's like doing anything. There's so many steps. It's just, I'm going to start walking up the steps. I'm going to get very tired of this very quickly. I'm going to reach up for one of is my hair the way it normally is? Like, other than Mercutio, do I also have other cogs and things? Because this is boring. And I don't feel like going up these steps. So I know I have a haste in here somewhere.
Your hair is, although it's styled a little bit differently this time, you have woven feathers and the almost bracelet-like things, both like your mother and father. But in your own flair, you do have your little bits and pieces and your cogs and everything.
Right, and it's really it's like the stupidest thing. It looks like something that fell off of one of her mother's brooches. It's like a little ornate metal feather, but that's what they have cast and refused with haste because no, and then they cast it by breaking the feather and then they zoom up the steps.
You reach the top.
And when they do, they go, "Ha! Let's see you beat that box." But there's no one there.
Your servants still going up the steps by themselves. They're way at the bottom. And because you said forks, I need you to roll me another same throw.
I know. That's what I wanted. Ha! 18. I haven't been rolling well.
Forks, that's such a lovely name. You remember someone short and mischievous. It's a name that belongs to someone short and mischievous, but you're not.
Hawk's feather. I tried. And then I'm gonna keep going up to the academy, so I can focus on my thing. I have my invention with me. I have my invention. My servant's carrying my invention. I mean. Okay, well, what happens when I go in there?
Right? I wonder what happens when you go in there.
You do.
But you have been brought to a great tree. This tree is one of those types, I forget the name, but they are one of those types that are kind of like individual vines that bind together to climb up things. So there used to be a tree inside it. And this almost parasitic climber grew round it and got very thick and killed the tree inside. So it's all hollow inside.
English ivy is one very specific invasive species in America that does this. Anyway, yes.
There's a English ivy doesn't get thick enough, I don't believe, but there's this particular one that I will look up later. And it basically grows up and then it gets really fat and it literally strangles the thing inside it. It's probably a tropical plant. That's probably where I know it from. So you're led to this great tree, and inside are these ancient blights. You can tell they're ancient because they almost look like ancient trees. They're like knobbly.
Mm-hmm.
Bark is cracked. They are wider. Blight people naturally are quite tall and lithe, and these are wider because obviously where their canopies have grown so large now, they need more girth to support the top.
Yeah. Ooh, big tree.
And they are much bigger than average as well. You yourself are quite tall, but these are like about 15 foot.
Big tree.
And they're sitting around. There's no fire here because they are plant people. Fire bad. And they seem to be talking, but their talking is almost like a song of the woods. So it's like the rustling of leaves, the tweeting of birds, the babbling of the brook.
I'm going to go over to the tree. This is where we were all brought. Oh, no, wait.
But
How far is the servant? I feel like an ass now.
we're on Bart, by the way.
Oh,
Lynobi. Oh, I love you.
I was like, I heard Bart, and then I thought, oh no, they must have said but, and then they're gonna.
yeah, no,
talk to
that's
tree
my
people.
brain did. He said, but you're not taken there. You're taken to a tree. And I went, oh, we're at a tree now.
Sudden tree is
Meow.
sudden.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the worlds have merged together into one nightmare. Is this language Sylvan? So can I understand it? Like,
Yes, you can.
it's okay.
And what they are discussing the deep philosophy of nature. What is nature's purpose in the life? Nature both destroys and it creates. And this is what they're having a very slow conversation about. There are three of them, by the way, these elder trees. One is talking about, nature is destruction. Another one is talking about nature is creation. And then there's always a fence sitter, because that's what happens.
I mean, not to be rude as I walk directly into your conversation, but I'm going to say that it's neither. Nature is a force, and it contains multitudes, much like one of us. Within each of us is a cosmos, and then within nature is destruction and creation And he turns towards the one that's sort of like the fence sitter. Nothing.
I see that you are familiar with the philosophies of the rose bush.
I am familiar with the philosophy of Bartholomew, which is who I am. And I am here because I've never been to Aurora before, and I've never seen my own people. And I want to know more.
Then we welcome you, Bart. Come, sit with us.
And this is Chey and like the moss dog. What's like Shay's reaction? Because it was excited about everything else, but so now we're in like a sort of a solemn place. What's sort of like the reaction to these three like ancient?
Bart is sniffing around their roots.
Okay. Well,
Like
Bart
dogs.
better not be sniffing, but Chey will definitely.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Bart's not.
Ooh, I've been
Bart's
a
not
muddle.
sniffing. Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, Bart sits down because again, since I failed that wisdom save, Bart is less interested in the mission and more the mission must be. So all of you here are spawns of the tree of life.
Correct.
Are there any spawns of Gilgamesh here?
Gilgamesh, that is a name we have not heard for many, many a millennia. He was once an elder, cast out for their destructive tendencies.
Bart laughs.
For you see, we seek to live in harmony with all things.
I would say that the philosophy of the devourer of all is an antithesis to what you believe. But are any of my folk free of that? I'm free of their influence. I once slaughtered and maimed and controlled in Gilgamesh's name, and now I do things my way and in my name. Are there no others?
You are the first we have met, spawned of Gilgamesh. We are pleased that you have found your freedom and your way home to us.
But if you know of me, then we must free the others. We must go now with an army such as this, with the understanding of the life tree and nature. We could save all of my people. Gilgamesh is not just something that spawns things like me, but a controller, a manipulator, a liar. That if you can sit here and discuss nature as if it is some sort of arbitrary thing that you are not part of, then you have enough time to come with me. And we can stop Gilgamesh, and we can free my people, and we can become one people.
We have tried that before. Once upon a time, we went to a realm called Ravenloft, where there was a Galtheus who was also cast out for destructive tendency. He believed himself some great vampire and took root there and poisoned the earth.
And you failed? Is that what you're saying? You gave up?
We lost many to the poisoned earth. It is the same for your people. The earth nurtures us and it feeds us. And until we find a way to purify the earth, we cannot tread there, lest we fall under the control also. It is amazing that you broke free.
No, it isn't. It's freakish happenstance. There's nothing particularly amazing about me or my abilities or anything. I am just one soldier in an army that needs the option not to follow and not to be led by monstrosities. If you won't help me, my mission now has become to reach out to any and all sentient creatures that will help us or help me free my people
And
and cleanse the land.
the fence sitter tree that you've been speaking to, the one that was been talking about, creation. The fence sitter, ancient elder tree, turns and says, but perhaps this one here is the reason we need to the reason and perhaps the solution, more correctly put, to our problem. Perhaps this one is the clue that we need on how we can abstain from the corruption and the control.
Rip me apart then. Break apart any magic inside of me and use my body to discover how to free everyone else from the curse. There are things that I never want to remember, that I will always be cursed with the memory of. And if you need to, just sunder me apart. And all that I ask is that you leave Chey here with their people and that they are taken care of.
And Bart, we're going to pause you there permanently. Because you have succumbed to the illusion. But. No, not but.
Again, I thought you said but, and I was like, aha, but no. Goodbye, everyone.
Fox is the one I wanted to say. Clearly, it's getting time to run down, to be honest. I'm doing quite a few mistakes. We've only really got 2 more to go. Well, not even that. We've only really got 1 more to go to lure into the illusion. And I think we will call it here. We've only got 10 minutes to go. So we could do a little bit of wind down. I do know that Adelaide needs to scuttle off to work.
Gotta finish the job.
Finish the job for the day. So, party, as part of Goldhart tradition, please tell me your favourite moment today. And because we haven't done it for a while, let's play our nose game. So the last person to touch their eyeball goes next.
Listen, this is not fair.
Buns.
I have to get behind glasses.
No, it was Buns. I saw that.
But I was scared because I went right, but I went wait.
Yeah, I
Keep yourself.
legitimately jabbed myself in the glasses.
Right, my glasses
Like-
weren't there. I'm so used to just stabbing my glasses that I was like, ha ha ha.
Anyway, yes.
Favorite part of the session. I think it was a tie between going down Mercutio's words and and the
Gross.
gross. All of the descriptions that we were getting from the different worlds from our DM today, those were my favorite parts. Everything's so pretty. Like I could see my little tropical getaway, and I could see like the forest of life, which is what I'm gonna dub that. And I could see the little nursery with all the little eggs and the little ember, and I was like Jurassic Park. And then
I thought Jurassic Park too. It's like, oh,
Life.
I was like, oh look, Jurassic Park. And then we
finds a
walked
way.
into a Skinamax scene. I mean Dorothea's.
It's eyes wide shut. It's
You
eyes
know,
wide shut.
it's just
shit
eyes wide
happens
shut.
over like 300, 400 years, you know?
You know what? I'm telling you, just little sprites. This is gonna be
It's a
great.
little weird sometimes.
Like that episode of Proud Family when Sugar Mama lost weight for the wedding. It was just
Oh my god, yes. I forgot about that episode.
Those were my favorite ones.
Excellent. Right. Last person to touch your top lip. Adelaide.
I had to find my top lip, alright? Okay, where even is it? Where is it? It ain't there?
interesting.
I got the bottom of it. All right, it evens out. Yeah, no, my favorite. I loved Fox's scene with like the eggs and the little clutch and like his mom. I think it was. Oh my god, it was so touching. Crazy sex dungeon was awesome. But yeah, I think I was most touched by Fox's scene. I almost teared up a little bit. All right, I cry easily. I cry in like Hallmark commercials, so it's not that hard. Don't.
I don't want to make you cry. But
No, it was like
It's a
the good fuzzy
just, like,
feeling kind of.
emotions.
Yeah, just my little baby fox.
We'll finish Fox's scene next session. It's gonna get rough, so prepare. You alright?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's the last one.
Bring on the tears.
It's gonna get rough.
I'm ready.
Alrighty, last person to touch their forehead.
Oh, that was a
Ooh.
tie on my screen.
Does-
That was a tie. Yeah, that looks
Does,
like a tie for
does
me.
Adelaide have to go again because
I forgot that I'd already done it. I'm on autopilot right now.
Yeah, no, I understand.
John, I'm just gonna pick you.
All right.
Well, I think getting the glimpse into backstory stuff. Like every episode we've sorry, I was about to say we've been very focused, but that's the wrong word. we have dealt with the various issues before us, and we've never really sat. I mean, we've talked with death and things, but we've never sat down and talked about the different characters' backstories and their backgrounds to a large extent. And it's really nice to see these visions and the glimpses that gives of each backstory. And yeah, just being back after a long time, it's really good.
I'll just go. No. Time out. Every time we do this, because it's always the two of us, everyone says I go, so I'm just gonna
Last
volunteer.
one to
Okay.
touch the wall behind him.
Gotcha. No. I'll
Just
just.
closer.
Those pictures are really small. I thought that was like
Yeah,
Bowser.
Oh no, they're not.
Far away.
Yeah.
Optical illusion ass.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway,
Like-
I'll go because I volunteer, and that's fine. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody on the cast, for showing up and doing their best to, curtail Bartholomew. It's hard, I want everyone to understand that it's just
Love
me, and I
him.
apologize.
That's the best.
Yeah, it's always good to hear backstory. It's always good to see y'all's faces. I mean, but I got to be selfish on the favorite thing, right? Like, sacrificing Bart for what he perceives as the greater good is something that they have always wanted to do, or what they see their life purpose as, right? Because that's what they were created for. They were created as a soldier to sacrifice themselves for a mission. And you've seen that throughout most of the episodes, where like if there's any unsurmountable or insurmountable thing, Bart's like, you leave and be safe and I'll take care of it, and that usually means I'll die. And that's cool. And Bart, and so when they're like, maybe you're the answer to, he's like, rip it out, do it, you know what I mean? Like, suck out all my magic if that saves other people, because that's my purpose. I don't have like a, protecting everybody in this crew was the purpose until there was a magic spell that made it so that he didn't remember that they were real. You know what I mean? And then who are Bart's people at that point? And that would be all those that were enslaved by a tree, named Gilgamesh the Destroyer. So yeah, I also Fox's scene was great, and sort of seeing, I mean, I knew what Dorothea's was going to be only based on the little bit that we've glimpsed, but how familial Lynobi's was, I think, like, so focused on a family that I was surprised by that.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, no, I'm excited to see what happens next episode. I'm ready to be dead. I might show up and then just sit here for 3 hours and just enjoy everybody's company because Bart is dead. And I'm 100% okay with that. But yeah, anyway, I ramble. Bart rambles. It's a cute character trait. Meh. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kinda.
I love it. It's hedonism. Love it. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, again. Ah.
Yeah. I just want to say that with scaling increasingly difficult wisdom saves, succumbing is going to be something that everybody does. So,
Well,
See what happens.
there was a rule. Like if you got a nat 20, you would just
Oh.
broke it.
Okay.
So I was just like, someone
I was
roll a nat
off.
20.
I had that 18. I had that 18.
I was so close.
I was like,
So
someone
close.
roll the nat 20 because you'll be free. Oh my god, you're not. Oh no. Oh no. I made this
Oh,
too
no.
hard. Oh no. And I'm
No,
really
it's
sorry,
great.
chat.
It's great.
I'm having sound issues. My sound card is back in and installed and working. I had to wipe my PC when I returned from holiday, and I'm still getting it back up to scratch. So I do apologize for the lack of quality. But I was just describing my favorite thing. My favorite thing was the descriptions and stuff. And come back next week because what Death is up to is based off a dream that I had once, and it's gonna be funny. And then we're gonna have our final showdown. It's the final showdown. We have been date with
One day
Death.
we'll find a way for everyone to sing on the same beat so that it's not just 5 different versions. of the
Okay,
same-
so
That-
what
that
we
will
have to
never
do
happen.
is work out what the
we kinda
delay
did it
is.
for my birthday.
We did a round for your birthday, and we just got to work out what the delay is.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
knowing the
Oh, then it's
delay, you
on.
just start
Then
singing.
And
we'll
then-
have a musical episode that took us 2 months to film.
And just to be clear, I have a 10 years, so it's yeah, good luck trying to get anything. I'll be like,
We'll send you the video and then you'll just do a voiceover. So you just
Yep.
sing like you're supposed to.
if you
do a
want me to
voiceover.
sing like Pearl Jam's lead singer Eddie Vedder or like Counting Crows lead singer Adam Duritz, I can do both of those because all they really do is whine or growl a little bit, and that's all my voice is really good for. So, just a hint
Ad-libbing,
for all
gotcha.
those. Yeah.
Alan, we'll say something, you'll just be like, "Arr."
Yeah, I can be a hype man.
It's like that, and that's the way it is. See? That's perfect.
Gross. Shiny.
Featuring
Sure,
Lil
sure,
Mercutio. Gross.
Gross. All
So
right.
we've
Matt,
been.
Wait, are we
Calm
still
down,
live?
everybody.
Hold-
We can,
oh,
no,
no.
yes, we're still live. I'm trying to
Oh,
wrap
Lord.
up. I love you guys, but seriously, sometimes you make it very hard. It's like, good thing I spent 9 days with toddlers. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Hey, you already said we were those pandas in that video. You knew what this was. You keep inviting us back here. I don't know if I should feel bad anymore.
So we have been Date with Death. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday, where we just let it all hang loose. We are back. I think this is it. Is it this Friday for our Mage Hand game? Excellent. We have our sponsored game with Mage Hand Press, which is DM'd by the wonderful DM Pro starter. So come back for that. I hear something really emotional happens, but I've got some catching up to do. And we have a lot more shows coming. We might stream this Saturday because a bunch of us are playing Ark. So you can come watch us and run and scream and die together as we run away from dinosaurs. Because we now have a Ark server just for the Discord. If you're interested in coming to play with us, then you need to either be a cast member or a patron. So that's that. Have a lovely day, everybody. This has been a joy. It's so good to be back. I still need to go fix my computer, so that's what I'm going to do. And just remember to stay in trouble and on fire. Good night. Nothing works here either.